standard form? No parentheses. The minute you see just strung out like this, it's in standard form. How do we know if it's in factored form? Yeah, you got to add parentheses. Now, it's deeper than that, but for my purposes of you knowing math vocabulary, I just want you to know what I know when they hear, hey, standard form? Yeah, I can tell. No parentheses. Factored form? Oh, x minus 2, x plus 3, that thing? Yeah, factored form. So even if you don't pass your test or get all the units for this class, my goal is when they leave, at least there's some math vocabulary that if they were to hear it, somebody's mentioning it, they're like, oh yeah, I know what they're talking about. In any case, here's what this picture is describing for people who will get 4s. This picture, it says something like a rocket. Yeah, she's launching a rocket, and this rocket eventually is just going to shoot out into the air, and it's going to hit the ground. Ground zero, we know that from 9/11, it's coming up, there's going to be a big deal about it. But ground zero, that phrase just means kind of where did things begin? For our purposes, I want you, whenever you hear, please find the factors, or the zeros, or the solutions. Usually it means this. There's a ground, and those zeros is where it's touching the ground. Ground zero. Yeah. So whenever you hear zeros, just think there's a picture of something going into the air. The maximum point is going to be the vertex. Yeah, that's the highest point. Now the beauty of the vertex is always it cuts the parabola, the red guy, in half. This line here happens to be called something. Anybody know what this line is called? Yeah, the line of symmetry. The line of symmetry is where you change directions from going up to going down. The vertex is the highest point. This is for people who are going to get 4s. If you're not getting a 4, you don't have to worry about this. It's just me describing this thing here is this real life thing here. The rocket shoots up into the air, goes from here to here. What's the line of symmetry? It's the point where it changed from going up to going down. That line of symmetry is always written as x equals some number. Like, where was it? What was that line? It's going to be x equals some number. So the things that we're about to work out here, step 1. Hey, at what time does this rocket hit the ground? In other words, was it 6, 0? That's what those zeros are going to be that we're going to get. When is it at its highest point? In other words, what's the vertex? What's the other question I'm going to ask you? They don't ask you the y-intercept, but it's where the red line hits that one. So while we do all this work over here, that's something you're like, I don't know what we're doing. Just know they turn this picture into math talk. With that said, let's actually find out some of the answers. Step 1, let's factor. How do you factor? You got to get rid of that 3 out front. How do you do that? And for some of you who didn't do it, now I'm going to do this first time. You're going to do it on number 61. Why are you going to do it on 61? Because you need to know before Monday, if I got this problem, would I be able to do at least 3 of them? 3 out of the 4. There here comes number 1. Get rid of the number in front of the squared term. That is a 3. Most of you have it on your paper, so I'm going to get your help. I know when we divide the 3, we would wind up with just the t squared. Negative 3 and 9 goes how many times? Yeah, it's just a regular 3. I'm not good with positive and negatives. You'll have these calculators. So if you need to divide a negative 9 by a 3, somebody's like, negative 9, is that just a minus 9? When you do division, you take whatever the sign is in front of it, and then you do that there. The t is there. And then that 84? 28. Now you did these without calculators, and initially you may have to start it without calculators. How do you factor this guy in standard form? Of course, the last digit, you can put a multiplication sign above it. The first guy, you can put, rather than the middle guy, you can put a plus sign because you're about to say, let me do that in a different color. What are 2 numbers that when, no?
Negative 74.
You want to erase for me? All right. You are right, though. What are 2 numbers that when you multiply them give you a negative 28, but when you add them give you a positive 3? And just like he said, 4 times 7 will give you 28. How do I know which one's going to be negative, though? One of them has to be negative, one has to be positive. The 4 is going to be negative, but for those who are like, okay, is there a little trick you can give me so I can know it every single time? Yes, there's a trick, and the trick is this. Whatever the sign is on the bottom number will always have the same sign with the largest number. Well, what does he mean? 3 is positive. Let's see, 7 is the bigger number. So 3 and 7 have to be the same sign. The sign of the bottom number will always be the sign of the larger. So the other guy, in this case, will be negative. This is the hardest part. Once you get this part, the other pieces, oh, they're easy. Add 2 numbers, divide by 2. Who can't do that? Oh, once you have these 2 numbers, just write the same numbers opposite sign below that. Who can't do that? The last part is the hardest part, which you'll need your calculator. You only need 3 out of 4. What if you can't do this part on the test? At least to demonstrate that you know how to do the rest, I'm going to have you make up numbers. Make up numbers, and I can get it right. Just make up any numbers? Sorta. Like, why would he want you to make up numbers? So that you could do this. Once you have these 2 here, then you know to write it in factored form. It's going to be x and x. And the 2 numbers that you got will go in there. The -4 will go here, and the 7 will go there. Without this part, you can't do the rest. So for people who can't get this part, I want them to make this up so that you can do these extra pieces. All right, here it comes. And again, for those of you who on your paper you had a 2, you got enough of it. Those who got a 3, you hit it properly. I didn't give any 4s because you had to answer some of these extra questions. Here it goes. Hey, please find the zeros, which I know are the question for the zeros are down here. I'm going to start them here and I'm going to put the answer down here. Hey, Thomas, find my zeros. Oh, I just write the same number. Put the opposite sign. Same number. Put the opposite sign. How easy is that? That's like freebie. But Thomas, what if these numbers are wrong? What if I had a 7 and a 3? I still kind of want to give you credit. Like, even if you have a 7 and a 3, like, can you still find the zeros if it were a 7 and a 3, or a 9 and a 14? It doesn't matter what the numbers are in here when it's time to find the zeros. So I almost want to give you credit. I know probably won't be able to, but at least I'd like to see it. How do you write zeros? You always have to write as an ordered pair. Because zeros are x-intercepts. These are the zeros right here. What is the x when it hits the ground when y is 0? See, at this point, y is 1, 2. This is where y is 0. When y is 0, hey, what's that? When it hits the ground. Pause. Any questions where we got the 4 and the -7? Yeah. Any questions where we got the -4 and the 7?
I got the negative and the positive mixed up. So instead of having...
It has to be x equals a number. It can't just be like, oh, 1.5, got it. All right. Take that one, look at it for a second. You're about to do it in just a second.
What is supposed to put for the vertex?
Vertex is what we're about to do next. You can't get your vertex until you get your line of symmetry, which is unfortunate that they would put this order this way on your work. Normally I had you do it in order. Over here put LOS so that when you go back to any of your notes, you're like, oh yeah, I remember LOS, line of symmetry. Again today, my order of doing things is difficult, medium, and then easy. So I want to use your strongest brain power right now, knowing that you're going to see this way. Last step, how do I get the vertex, which is what Anissa just asked. Remember up here we did, you're going to put it back into the parentheses. Another math teacher will say this differently. They'll put it back into the original problem. I'm going to put it in these guys. I'm going to accept it this way. It was x, was it x minus 4 or plus 4?
Minus.
And it was x
Plus 7.
plus 7. You're going to take that negative 1.5 and you're going to put it in here. Minus 4. And then his friend over here, you're going to put in the negative 1.5 plus 7. This is a calculator problem, so I know some of you can do it by hand. In your calculator, you're just going to put in parentheses, negative 1.5 minus 4, close parenthesis, open parenthesis, which means to multiply it. Negative 1.5 plus that. It'll give us some number, I think it was 6.5. Anybody got that one? Say it again. Negative 5.5 you got? Someone else punch it in, let me see if we get the same thing. I felt like it was a different answer, but I'm gonna put that in for now. You said negative 5.5. Somebody else punch it in so I can get some confirmation. Somebody say that middle number, please. 17. And the last one. Okay. What are the two numbers in there now?
Negative.
Yeah, because it's 5 and 12. Yeah, when you multiply them, it gives you that. But when you add them together,
Oh, you add them. I thought because it's the negative, you would subtract them. Yes, right.
what did you say?
It's 3 and 20.
Negative 20 and 3.
Now this is the hard part. These two red numbers. If these two numbers are wrong, it messes everything up. But again, say you chose some wrong numbers. Do everything with it. In other words, I factored. Oh no, I didn't factor yet. Still do this part, even if you have wrong numbers. Like, look, I don't know. I'm just gonna guess something. Go ahead and guess something. Like, why would a teacher say that? Because again, to get zeros, once you have a guess thing, you
Guess
don't.
like this on the test.
Say that again.
Guess like this on the test.
Right, yeah. And I might be able to. The first time, probably not. First time I have to mark it wrong. Then that when you take it the second time, I might be able to. Because what you're going to show me is you can do 3 out of 4. The 3 out of 4 that you're showing me are these guys here. By the way, people are getting 4s. A negative 0 is generally not used. Usually it means something about time. Yeah, see with time, you can't have negative time. So it's only the positive 0 that you use. Oh, this is the amount of time it'll take for whatever, what's happening here, the football that's flying through the air. How much time will it take for the football to hit the ground is what that positive 0. The negative one is, say somehow this football player somehow threw the football backward this direction. It doesn't even make any sense. It would hit the ground in negative time. It just doesn't matter. All right, so we got those two. The last two down here. I'm going to see if it's done that. Put these two down here. And why does he skip the minimum maxima section? Well, he skips it because you need the another decimal. Really, you guys, I can just. They could have made it a 4. And then, yeah, they could have made it a 4. That way, it wouldn't be this 8.5. All right, and then the last piece. I think it was x and a plus 20. x and a minus 20. I mean, minus 3. The x is 8.5 plus 20. Oops. All right. Hopefully, some of you, this is the hardest type that's on there. Hopefully, you feel a little more comfortable. What does it wind up giving us?
8.5. I got 156.75.
All right, we can get some confirmation. 156.75. Anybody else get that number or something different for the vertex? This green
How do
one.
you get that number again?
The big green one. We plug in whatever we found for our x's into the factor form. Oh, x was 20, x minus 3. Oh, if x is 8.5, I put 8.5 plus 20 and 8.5 minus 3.
And then you multiply it.
Then you multiply, Okay, yeah, same thing. And again, if you had a calculator, if you punch it in with the parentheses, the numbers, parentheses, and numbers, it understands two parentheses together is multiplied. So even if you forget, like, okay, what am I doing with those? You hit enter and you have it. I wrote the wrong thing. I'm going to erase it. So you put it in.
And then it means negative 132.20.
That is weird, though. That's weird that it would be a negative number. Because when you throw that football in the air, the height of it should be a positive thing. It would
fell
seem.
into a hole.
Maybe it fell into a hole. That's weird. All right.
No,
All right, so let me erase this and put it back in. Ooh, I'm nervous about that. But showing your steps, I can accept it. So it was a minus 20
Yes.
and plus 3. Yeah, that's going to give you a negative number times that, and it gives you a negative who?
Negative 132.
Nervous
it's
about.
negative because the ball is going down.
Like after throwing it down.
Were the signs just changed? Was that it?
All right, I'll accept it. You know how at the very beginning we factored out that 5, that negative 5 at the very beginning? Remember this guy up here?
The negative 5.
Yeah, we factored him out. Technically, what happened to him? 4s listen, 3s you can listen, 2s. Think about something different right now. Technically, when you factored that out, what you had was this.
And then negative 5 at the front.
Right, there's a negative 5 up front. So what does that mean? 3s and 4s, 2s, you can watch it. What that means is this. Technically, once it's time to multiply all this stuff,
You need to put that.
there's technically a negative 5 out front that will get multiplied times it.
Oh, it'll become positive.
Right. So,
Oh.
help me. Someone multiply this negative 132.25. If you're a 2, this is good enough. I'm happy. A 3 and a 4. Do me a favor. Multiply that negative 5 times this so I can see what the real answer is.
661.25.
661.
Is that?
Yes.
Where did that come from? That comes from multiplying that 5. But it's new information. It's at the end. You only need 3 out of 4. So even if this last part isn't quite it.
Well, we still get a 4 if we forget.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it. A 4 means you get the whole thing right, and when I submit your test, I'm saying like, boom, they got it all. So if I let it through with that, so I definitely would do a 3 for sure. 3 is mastery. 4 exceeds mastery. All right. Pause. Anybody want to ask a question about there? One other thing. For the circle, the official equation of a circle is an x squared and then a y squared equals a radius to the second power. That's the official equation, which they're going to ask you for. They're going to throw in an h. They're going to throw in a k. Remember, the x and the h, they're friends, they're partners. They go together. The y and the k, partners, that go together. How can you tell? Is it like a little trick you can give me? Yes. In the alphabet, x comes before y. In the alphabet, h comes before k. The 2 guys that come first go together, and the 2 guys that come second go together. That's the little trick for who goes with whom. All right, let's see if we can get you to Over here, they gave you the equation. They gave you the picture. And how do I get the parts that go with what? You always write down the center of the circle. You have to write down those coordinates. If you do, you are good to go. Like, what is he talking about? The first number in the coordinate goes with the x. It's always a minus sign. That's the official equation. See the official equation? There's a minus sign. So here, x minus 0. The second guy, x minus 0. Hey, where did you get the 7 from? He counted. They're going to give you the circle, and you just count the box to get the radius from the center to the wall of the circle. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is called medium. Why is it medium? You need to fill in 3 pieces of a puzzle. One of the pieces is way easy. It's a 7, all the way to the second power. See the formula? The other 2 guys, they just go in. It's going to get tricky when it's not zeros, because when you put them inside the parentheses, it's always the opposite side. Easy version, let's go to the next level. Right now you should hopefully feel okay. It's the jacuzzi we're trying to get you to. So here's the problem here. This circle, they moved it around. Well, I gotta be on this page, but yeah,
It's like 2 seconds.
if I had time, I'd let you. I gotta move on from here, but hopefully while we're doing this, or get the jacuzzi perspective. All right, so take a look at this one. This one, they move the circle. There's the center. If you don't have it written down, please write down the center of this circle. Somebody's like, well, how did he get the 3 and the 2? Just regular. What page are we on?
I don't know.
We're on
We're on
page 89.
76.
Page 89. Look at the bottom, page 89.
I thought we were on 76.
This is 76.
76, not 89. They look a lot alike, but it's 76.
No.
This one's, no, this is 76.
76.
You're supposed to be on 89.
Find the page that looks like this one.
Oh, Lord.
And then when you find it, tell me.
Yes, it's 76.
I heard 76 twice.
76.
Go on. So
76.
to get the center, you just count over 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 3, 2. Once you get the center, the thing is done. Like, what does he mean it's done? Watch this. A 3 and a 2. They go in, and it's always the opposite sign. It's a positive 3, a positive 2. Oh, minus 3, minus 2. Take a look at that.
That's it.
That's it. Where did you get that 7 from, though? How did you get the 7? Yeah, you just count out. Just count out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why this section is a medium. The question is, how many of these do you need to get right? To get this one right, this is standard 4. At the top of this page, please write standard 4 or in this section. You need to be able to write an equation and to graph the equation. In other words, you need to produce the circle and produce the equation. To get a 3 out of 3, they want you to label and scale the axes appropriately. In other words, sometimes the circle will be too big. So instead of making this 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to make it 2, 4, 6. You have to make sure the circle fits. All right. Pause. Any questions where we got the 7 from or the 49?
No, I got it.
Because the radius is always squared, sometimes to test people, we'll write it as a 49. They'll actually work it out. All right, let me see if I can get you just one more of this type before the test version of it. Again, on this one here, they're just giving you the information and they want you to plug it in. Inside the parentheses says, I want the opposite of H. That's what minus sign means in math talk. I want the opposite of K. Well, what's the opposite of a negative 4? Oh, it's a positive 4. What's the opposite of a positive 3? Oh, negative. Yeah. That's why even with the parabola, the thing inside, it always changes signs.
Wait. Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah. So this is the fake one. They're not going to give you one this easy. This one, they tell you the radius is 4. You just plug it in. They give you the center, and you just plug it in. Too easy. Yeah. All right, let's get you to the next level. Let's see if I can get you there. Did you all do this one?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. No, then. How about this one? Did you all do this one?
No.
All right. Fill in the answers on this one really fast. All right, here it comes. This side of the room, what's the center, please?
-16, -9.
Hopefully that doesn't throw anyone out. That's how the room, the radius, please.
12.
Why is it not making sense?
Because remember how in the center when we did it, we switched
So it'll be
it?
the opposite.
Yeah. I don't want that.
Take a look, take a look. This is the part here that's supposed to fool some people.
Why is a negative not?
Yeah, that's the part that's going to fool some people. You'll put the -16, you put the +9, they won't let you have that. When it gets in that parentheses, it's always the opposite.
It looks like
Or just going to get some of this one on the board. 14 feet across, that means the radius is going to be a 7. What does he do? He goes 5 feet to the left and 5 feet down. I know 5 feet to the left. I'll start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My C is a -5, comma -5. That's good because now writing in my formula, which is one of the 3 pieces, is nice and easy. In the interest of time, I'm just going to write it. I know it's x and a 5, y and a 5. You just got 1 point, just off of the thing. Here's for 2.
How do you know it's 7? How do you know if you're supposed to square root it or if you're supposed to just cut it in half?
The formula always has all the squares. If they use the word diameter, then it's true. You do have to just cut it in half. If they just give you a formula where this was a 49 over here, that's when you square root it. So I'll say it this way. If it's in a paragraph, you're probably going to cut in half.
Oh, so it's still +5. That's not we're not going to the signs in.
You did, See here, when you put it in the picture,
It's negative. Oh.
and now, so far I have 1 point. To get 2 points, I'll just make it go off the scale. I'll make it go off the scale for my 2 points. It's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I just got my 2 points. I just passed the standard. Now, if I want my 3 or more, thank you. Thank you. All right, if you wanted 3 or more, the scaling. This is for people who are getting 3 or more. Because it goes off, that means it's too big. The scale is going to be ugly. I'm going to do 2, 4, 6, 8. So this one is 2, 4. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do it. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I do need that 8.
Yeah.
All right. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Like, what does that even mean? When you scale it now to 7, so that it stays on the thing, because you're giving this to a contractor to fix.
But if you're gonna scale it all, wouldn't you have to also put the center somewhere else?
I thought they.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah.
I was scared.
Which is why they're giving you an extra point for that.
Oh.
So again, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. On this one, let me just get it in there. For this one, if I'm going 5 this way, there's 5 and 5 down. 2, 4.
That's not
That's not.
bad.
It's over. It's in the middle. It's gonna be in the middle of the box.
Right here, 1. Right there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is for a 3 or 4. If you got the big picture, woohoo, you win. But for scaling so it stays on there, that's what it looks like. And then the actual picture, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7. 2, 4, 6, 7.
He scaled it down. So it fits. And he doesn't go.
So the little red guy gets you 3 points because you scaled it, you made it smaller. The big green guy gets you 2 points, you still pass by just doing the 7.
Now